Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
We have got to take on Trump's racism, his sexism, xenophobia, and come together.
Ask yourself how somebody like Donald Trump ever gets within cheating distance of the Oval Office in the first place.
Donald Trump is part of a corrupt, rigged system.
The idea that America is doing just fine is wrong. Not only that, this president always likes to take credit, like he did this.
We have a predator living in the White House.
The crisis is Donald Trump, but not only Donald Trump.
Everybody knows who Donald Trump is. We have to let him know who we are.
The first thing that I'm going to do when I'm president is I'm going to Clorox the Oval Office.
You know what? He's living in their head rent-free. I watched 2 nights of debate, so that's 4 debates that I have watched. 4 debates. About 10 hours. And I look up there, and I don't see anybody at this moment in time that's going to beat Donald Trump. I don't. That's the reality of it. I do not see anybody at this moment in time that is going to beat Donald Trump. Now, a lot can happen in 16 months. What I do know is they came hard for Biden last night. He's the front runner. But it shows you so many things that he didn't do well last night. He struggled big time. He didn't do well. He fought back, but he seemed confused at times. It didn't look good. But I got to be honest with you. I sit back and I watch this and I see what's going on. Democrats want a moderate. Democrats do not want the crazy, super way out leftists. They don't. They want a good old-fashioned Democrat. Somebody who likes the union. Somebody who wants to tax the rich a little bit higher but doesn't want to destroy the economy. Somebody who can work across party lines. Somebody who doesn't live in the fringes. Man. I sat there and I watched it, and I don't think anything's going to change. Right? But as I'm watching this thing last night, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, if he still has the lead and it's the way it is, it shows you what the actual people want comparatively. Now, Iowa's going to be telling. Is it going to be Warren? Is it going to be Bernie? Is there going to be a 3-way race all the way till the end? It's possible. But if he goes out and he wins Iowa, right? And he goes out and he wins New Hampshire and he continues, what are they not learning? What are they not learning? And here's the other thing. Obama, his presidency is not even cold yet, right? And already he's like, it's like technology. Like you have a 2000, you got a 2014 phone or 2015 phone. Oh, that phone sucks. I'm wondering when he's going to weigh in. His legacy's getting trashed top to bottom.
Everybody's talking about how terrible I am on these issues. Barack Obama knew exactly who I was. He had 10 lawyers do a background check on everything about me on civil rights and civil liberties, and he chose me, and he said it was the best decision he made.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
His judgment.
Yeah. In fact, Biden's been out all day saying, I'm surprised that they came after Obama the way they did. Wasn't woke enough, I guess. And you have to win the actual nomination before you could run for president. But I sit back and I watch this and I'm thinking to myself, what's the average person thinking? The average Democrat. I'm not talking about the uber progressive liberals. I'm talking about the average Democrat. What are you thinking? The 70, 80% of the Democratic Party, what are you thinking? Because the moderates the night before, I thought, did a hell of a job. The problem is it got no name recognition. Hell, I follow politics, and I had to look up a few of them. Right? I mean, the governor of Montana was the most Googled person in Montana. Why? Because people have no idea who the hell he is. I mean, that is the issue they have. And the other issue is something I think Tulsi Gabbard and her sister brought up yesterday, right before. Let's see if CNN's going to make this thing fair or if they're going to play to favorites. The night before, They pointed out, man, it was Warren, it was Sanders, as much as, and Buttigieg. That's it. That's who they wanted to talk to. That's what it was all about. They were front and center. And they've got skin in this game as well. Let me tell you something. Warren Trump, people want to watch that, right? Like if you're Major League Baseball, Yankees versus Dodgers, people want to watch that. Yankees versus Cubs, people want to watch that. Right? Like that's, Lakers, much bigger. People going to watch that. LeBron, yeah, they're going to watch that. They want that. The Patriots, Tom Brady, they want that. Yeah, of course they do. So you do wonder the question, how biased is it? What kind of questions are you going to ask? Where are you going to direct certain things? Look, we know what happened. Look, take away all the Russia. What did we find out in the last one? That even the Democrats rigged the game against Bernie. So there's a lot going into this, but after watching 10 hours so far, I don't know who's beating him. I don't know who's beating him. Now, the economy could go to hell in a handbasket. We all know that. That would change everything. There could be several things that happen that could go against him. And there also could be several things that happen that go for him. But he's in their head already. You know, the one thing about Trump, and we've talked about this before on numerous occasions, Trump wanted to be the nominee, and that's the way he fought who was in front of him. He took everybody on who was in front of him. Everybody here is still running to be president. Not the nominee. So it's very interesting last night. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to touch on a lot of what people said. Go from there. So many things to talk about, including something that's not getting the play that should. And here's a damn on the president. And yes, I'm going to say it, the Republicans, you guys have failed once again because you are so full of crap.
This deal is an opportunity to do exactly that. This is the agreement the administration has negotiated. This is the deal the House has passed. This is the deal President Trump is waiting and eager to sign into law.
Is he? 2-year moratorium on spending, so you guys can spend the hell out of it? Right? Look at what you've done as far as adding debt to our already mountain of debt in your first 2 years. It's nuts. Rand Paul is pissed, and he's got every reason to be. I am as well.
To allow the debt ceiling to go up an infinite amount, as much as Congress can possibly spend and borrow over a nearly 2-year period, is fiscally irresponsible.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And here is, I love this, what he talks about. This hits it out the park right here. Absolutely, 110%.
Get this. All of those who said debt was bad under President Obama will today snuggle their way up, wiggle their way up to the spending trough, and they will do exactly what they condemned under President Obama. Shame.
100%. Absolute joke. The way we spend money and the way we borrow money. Now, granted, we borrow from ourselves, but who do you think we owe? Ourselves. It is ridiculous. We need to talk about this more. Here's things that really, when you look at all of what's going on out there in the world of government, these are one of the things that the government should be doing, which is minding our finances. And they're doing a piss poor job of it. And if I'm Rand Paul, I'm out there. You know what? I'm damn Skippy. He should be doing what he's doing. 100%. This is a joke. An absolute joke. Trump, you are worse than Obama when it comes to spending, and the Democrats and Republicans, you guys are all the same. You just go by different names, different uniforms, but you're playing the same game. Other people's money. Spend it like it's going out of style. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet at us. Love hearing from you. If you guys didn't hear, we got somebody yesterday.
Osama bin Laden was perhaps the world's most infamous terrorist, and now we know his son and apparent heir is also dead. 2 U.S. officials tell ABC News that Hamza bin Laden, who was believed to be about 30 years old, was killed at some point over the last 2 years, and that U.S. intelligence played a role in the operation. But it remains unclear where or how he died.
Yeah, so apparently we got him, and he had threatened after Pops died that he was coming for us.
Back in February, the State Department offered a $1 million reward for his capture, calling him a key leader. And his last public statements came just last year when he threatened his native Saudi Arabia with violent jihad. Papers found in the Abbottabad compound where his father was killed in the U.S. raid in 2011 show he may have been groomed for a prominent role in Al-Qaeda.
Did not work. I'm telling you, $1 million, right? Right? You own a little cart where you're selling coffee and you're struggling day to day to support your family of 3 or 4, right? Your wife's doing laundry for everybody around there. Your kids are, if they're lucky, they go to school a couple days a week and are trying to learn, and you're looking around thinking there's got to be something better, and you know where somebody is. $1 million goes a long way. Money changed people quick. Oh, yeah. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet at us. Wounded Paw, an amazing organization. Been working with them. Happy I'm working with them. They are doing amazing things. They rescue dogs that would be euthanized. Right? So they go into shelters. They rescue these dogs. They do what everybody says can't be done, which is train them to be service dogs. And then from there, they get them to the people that need them, first responders, veterans, and their families. It is incredible. These people are struggling. PTSD, immobility, and having an animal in their life like this. It is a partnership that changes so many things, but they need your help. WoundedPawProject.org is accepting vehicle donations, any kind. If it floats, if it flies, if it drives, or doesn't, they'll take it. Also, they accept cash. It's not cheap and it's not easy to do this, but they're doing it, and they are truly changing lives. Donate today. Go to WoundedPawProject.org. You're going to have a tax-deductible gift. They take cash, they take cars, whatever you have, boom. They will take it, and what it's going to do is change lives. You can call 844-678-4PAW, 844-678-4729, or WoundedPawProject.org. You're going to be saving a paw to save a life. It is an amazing organization. I ask you, go check it out, WoundedPawProject.org. At Chad Benson Show, Twitter, ChadBenson. It's the Chad Benson Show.
Experiencing separation anxiety? That's dumb. Check out Chad 24/7 at his website, ChadBensonShow.com, and on iTunes, free. The Chad Benson Show. Never feel lonely again.
I don't know. I can't tell you whether or not they're going to do that chant. If they do the chant, we'll have to see what happens.
We'll have to see what happens. Trump tonight having his first rally since the chant, and then, of course, we've had 2 debates. And will they chant, send her back, send her back? I think he hopes so. Absolutely. 110%. I think, and here's the other thing. He wink, wink, nudge, nudges it. He'll say, I don't want them to do that. And in saying that, the audience is going to want to. They're going to want their chant to chant. They're going to want their chance to chant something. So we'll see how that goes. Could be interesting. Could be. It's the usual stuff with him, and he plays this game extremely well, whether people want to believe it or not. So we'll find out how this thing goes tonight. But he's so Trump, right? It's the game he plays. It is the game he plays. North Korea, being North Korea, fired off some more missiles, right? Doing what North Korea does.
These are short-range missiles. We never discuss that. We discuss nuclear. What we talk about is nuclear. Those are short-range missiles, sure. And a lot of other countries test that kind of missile also.
Yeah, is that true? It's funny because everybody Trump, you guys are pals with him, and you should get him to do this stuff. Look, the nuclear side of things is what he's talking about. I'm not here to defend Trump. I don't know what's going to happen. He could be being played. He might not be. Let me tell you what's not worked. All of the other things. For all of the other stuff that people jump on, just remember, They got nuclear weapons after they did the exact same thing the Iranians did, which is promise not to do anything. Then behind everybody's back, they went and got nuclear weapons. And then for 2 decades, they have threatened, they have saber-rattled, and we've ignored them largely. We've put sanctions on them that were just useless and half-assed, where China and Iran and everybody else went around and made sure they had everything they needed. And when times got tough, they'd rattle their sabers some more. This may fall flat. It may be okay. He's never going to get the nuclear weapons away. No, because, and if I'm Kim Jong-un, I wouldn't give those up either. That's what makes your country relevant. That's what also protects you from the beast on the other side, which is China, and your fear of what's going on in South Korea, because you have this crazy idea that somehow something's going to happen. And it makes you relevant on the stage, right? Like we watched a bunch of people last night on stage, right? Some of them got to be, just here they are. They're on the stage. That's what North Korea is. They get to be on that kind of stage, and they're not going to give those up. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet at us. Crazy day in the stock market today.
It's one of those days that was crazy. Looking at the bigger picture, I think you have to remember that we're up almost 14% year to date still, so it's been a good year. But we've known from the beginning of the tariff situation that this was something that was going to add volatility to the market.
Yep. Market was down. People are worried. Trump was upset about the Fed and saying that they're probably not going to cut any more. Then you got more, $300 billion more of tariffs going on September 1st. It is, people are uncomfortable. They're a little worried. They're looking out there. So that's going to happen. But we're still up pretty decently. And Trump has to watch this, though, because in the end, the market and the economy will be the biggest opponent he has or his biggest ally. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Shows your Twitter. We're going to check out what's trending. Oklahoma woman, what are you doing, Granny? It's the Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show.
Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
I've lived through the Affordable Care Act, where we had exactly 60 votes and did the very best we could to create a system and reduce the number of uninsured Americans by 50%. And now we are facing a situation where we want to expand that. I think we can do it. I hope we don't get lost in the forest here and lost in the weeds.
They're coming out today, and everybody is trying to say, hold on a second. I know what you guys are thinking. We attacked Obama and his legacy last night. No, we love Obama. It's just that we hate everything he did now because that stuff is old. He's like a computer, right? Your phone. He's a BlackBerry, and we're now on to iPhone 10. Like, it was awesome back then, but we're moving from there. Oh, yeah. And it's amazing. So wait, you do like him, you don't like him, you could have liked him? And they're all trying to protect themselves because they really did come out. And at some point in time, here's the thing, and people need to understand this. It's probably going to be Biden and Warren. Biden last night didn't take the hit that a lot of people thought. He screwed up, and he's not very good at reading text or call on the. You can P.O. Box. Just send a P.O. Box self-addressed stamped envelope to P.O. Box. He struggled, and it was evident. He started good, slowed down a little bit, right? Got a little late. Normally he's in bed by about 8. But the one thing about Biden is, first of all, the black vote, right? They like him. Kamala Harris doesn't poll like he does. She doesn't. Cory Booker doesn't. They love Joe. You have a lot of people out there in that mid-level kind of just average Democrat, right, that maybe has voted for Trump and hated it, but is looking over there going, I don't want anything. I think in the end, you're going to have two people standing. I think it's going to be Warren, and I think it's going to be him. And he's going to win this thing. He is. He's going to win this thing and have a chance to take on President Trump. Could you imagine? Just answer this question. Warren on stage with Trump. It's tough. It'd be tough. Because no matter what anybody says, while all of it sounds good and popular, hey, free everything, well, that sounds awesome. What's the catch? There's no catch, isn't there? Well, there may be a catch. What is it? I'm not telling you. Stop asking questions like that. That's stupid. But along the way, what are they doing? They're tearing down Obama's legacy. And they're saying, well, we don't want to tear down Obama's legacy. We like him. But a lot of this stuff, he was a deporter in chief, which he was. I mean, you go and look, he deported the hell out of people. Right? ACA's not worked, and now you want us to turn all of insurance over to you guys and all of our health care needs over to you guys, and the cost is what? I mean, there's a lot of things in there, and they're slowly but surely, and they're all coming out today trying to defend it, but I felt bad because Biden was having to defend President Obama and himself, two different kinds of attacks. He's defending a legacy, and I want to know what that legacy is going to be. Well, Chad, you don't like President Obama. I like some of the stuff he did, and I didn't like some of the stuff he did. Just like this president liked some of the stuff he did, didn't like it. I can compartmentalize. I can. Right? I think he did a pretty decent job as far as the economy goes at the beginning. I think he got too regulated and government-oriented, and instead of really just taking this economy out for a ride, he didn't do that. I wasn't a fan of the climate accords. I just thought, you know what? In the end, if we're going to be the only one who really follows the rules, China and India, I'm looking at you, then why, not a fan. I'm sorry. And the Iran deal, I wasn't a fan of. I wasn't. So there was some things I thought he did okay on. People say, well, but that's every president. Some stuff for Bush I liked, some stuff I didn't like. I thought the reaction right after 9/11 was amazing. And I thought what we did in Afghanistan was needed. I didn't think we needed to be in Iraq. Never once thought we needed to be there. I think we needed a better plan. We're really good at breaking stuff. Right? So, I can do that. Most people can't. But what's his legacy going to be? If you dismantle Obamacare and decide you're going to go single payer and you get rid of Obamacare across the board, you've got rid of his singular biggest achievement as president. Then what? What's his legacy at that point? 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet at us. Hope you're doing well on this most fine and festive day. It's going to be interesting to see what happens tonight with Trump and the group, because I know the fans are going to want to cheer, and it's going to be interesting to see what goes down on that cheering. And if they're going to do send her back. That will be very, very interesting. Every day we like to make you hipper and cooler. That's why we got a new segment. It's about trends. Oh, yeah. What's going on in the world? What's trending?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition, liftoff.
Now it's time to find out what's trending. What's trending? Yeah, what does that mean? I mean something, right? Like it's trending on the old internet. What's trending? Trending. Yesterday's trends. Fortnite Season 10. The most trended thing out there. 500,000 plus searches. The Irishman. Mario Lopez. We'll touch on him in a little bit. Today, though, what's trending? Number one trending thing, NFL preseason tonight. Broncos, Falcons. Our long nightmare is over. Football's back. Even if most of these guys are going to be on practice squads and or insurance salesmen or fitness instructors, it's still guys in uniforms we recognize smashing into each other. Number two on the trends is Mixer. Now, if you don't know what Mixer is, this is very interesting. This was trending most of the day today, and it is a huge, huge thing, and it is really incredible. And this just shows you the two worlds we live in. Mixer is like Twitch, and you don't know what Twitch is. Twitch is where you can go stream watching people play video games. All right, so you can go watch them play video games. It's huge. It is massive. Big time. Last month, or the data at least for the last couple months, is, get ready for this, 2.7 billion hours between April and June were watched. Streaming, people playing video games. They do some other stuff on there, but a lot of it is video games. Their number one person is a guy named Ninja. He's got over 14.5 million people that follow him on Twitch. Twitch is owned by Amazon. Today, they released a commercial because he made a huge announcement.
I know this may come as a shock to many of you, but as of today, I will be streaming exclusively on Mixer. I know. It's exciting.
Yeah, it's huge. Now, I watched the commercial. I thought, okay, let's see this, right? My son loves Ninja. So the commercial, this guy is stacked as far as he is sponsored by Adidas. He plays video games for a living. He used to be the king of Halo, and now he does other stuff, but he plays video games for a living. He makes $10+ million a year. And Microsoft apparently has thrown massive amounts, copious amounts of cash at him to jump ship. He's going to start this weekend with 4 days streaming live from Lollapalooza. The kid who just won $3 million, right, this past weekend playing Fortnite is going to be there with him. In the space of about an hour, he's already got 115,000 people that have switched over to Mixer. And from what I hear, the amount of money that they're pouring into Mixer, and Microsoft bought this, and they're going to use it for their Xbox, as well as streaming regular on a computer and your phone, which is all something new, I guess. It's going to be huge what they're going to do. They're throwing the kind of money at this thing that, quite frankly, you could buy an NFL team. That's how big they think this thing's going to be. And that thing was trending worldwide. And it was crazy. And the young kids around here were talking about it. I got a couple of interns and my producer here, a young kid, he's 20, we call him the Cran. And he's like, oh, we were talking about this. And I was like, really? It's like, because they get it. Right? That's where it's at. I'm surprised they don't have a debate on Twitter. You want to reach kids? Twitch. Right? You want to reach kids? Mixer now, I guess. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You could tweet at us. If you guys haven't heard, do you remember this whole Baltimore thing? Everybody remember Baltimore, right? What was going on? You guys, Producer Phil, you remember what happened in Baltimore and Trump started, tweeting and doing stuff?
I don't know. It was so long ago.
Yeah, it was so long ago. Well, here's some funny news. And the stuff that he was going back and forth with was with Elijah Cummings. Well, breaking news today.
There was a break-in at his home. This happened on Saturday, we're learning, around 3:40 in the morning. Now, you remember Saturday is when the president first started tweeting and making attacks on Baltimore. Sure, if any property was taken, but they are investigating this and looking for tips. This also comes as federal authorities, including the U.S. attorney here, announced a crackdown on crime and the results of a month-long sting in Baltimore.
Yeah, they arrested 90-plus people, a bunch of gangs, seized a bunch of cash. In fact, one of the gangs had enough fentanyl to kill, I think it was over a third or half the population of Baltimore. Think about that. That's insane. All this is going on, and as the reporter's doing something, he takes a peek at his phone.
Also, the White House official Twitter account just tweeted that the murder rate in Baltimore is higher than that of Honduras, El Salvador, or Guatemala, the three Central American nations driving our border surge. He says the White House Twitter account says Democrats have run Baltimore for 5 decades. It's time for accountability. No response from Congressman Cummings' office. However, he did tweet a picture of himself meeting with constituents and says he is focused on continuing to do his job.
Yeah, well, that was kind of funny. So all this is going on. I was trying to explain this. Trump can be both a jerk and right. It's not mutually exclusive, right? You don't have to be great. You have to be a sweet person to be right. No. You can be an awful person. You can be a mean person. You can be at times even a vindictive person, right? 2 + 2 is still 4. You may be a jerk, but it's still 4. Baltimore's a mess. It is. They got they got real issues with violent crime. They've got gangs that are everywhere. They're trying to crack down like you could not believe. It is a mess. Now, Trump, being Trump, doing what he did, and then the reaction of everybody else was, A, was understandable, and B, it was telegraphed. You knew exactly the minute he goes and says anything, that's what's going to happen. But it is kind of funny that Elijah Cummings had his house broken into. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet at us. Do love hearing from all of you. He's apologizing, and we're bummed that he did it. We'll touch on that. And a granny gets popped. Good. Not only did she get popped, she got tasered. Chad Benson Show.
Set Chad straight. Text the show, 323-538-2423. That's 323-538-CHAD. Someone has to do it. Might as well be you. The Chad Benson Show.
Mario Lopez under fire for statements on the Candace Owens Show. Owens, a conservative, saying there's a trend in Hollywood that parents are letting children pick their gender at an early age, with Lopez agreeing.
I just think it's dangerous as a parent to make that determination then, okay, well, then you're going to be a boy or a girl, whatever the case may be.
Critics, including GLAAD, countering that experts in the field have discredited Lopez's notions and asked about the Believe Women hashtag.
I think that's dangerous because people lie, and sometimes those people are women.
Many there pointing out that the movement grew out of centuries of women not being believed when it comes to sexual assault.
So in the matter of 24 hours, you've managed to change what you said. And here's the thing. You have your belief. I'm going to scare you into changing the words that you say. I'm not going to actually change your mind. Do I think today that Mario Lopez thinks anything different about trans kids at 3 years old? I do not. I think what he said was spot on. I'm serious. It's spot on. Now, when you get older, see, here's the thing. They take it out of context. When you get older, he said, when it comes to sexuality and things like that, that's when you address those things and you can have a conversation that's real. That's when you have that conversation. It's I watched Bill Burr a couple weeks ago, and he said something, and I'm like, and of course, the difference is, you come after Bill Burr, you're going to get hammered because, A, he doesn't care. He's a comic, if you don't know who he is. But he said, you can't tell me that all these people aren't raising their kids and gender fluidity and they're putting toys out there and this, that, and the other. And when a kid that's a boy goes over and picks up a dump truck, the parents are like, are you sure you want to pick that up and you don't want to pick this up? Are you sure you want to wear a hat like that and you don't want to wear – I mean, he said, you can't tell me behind the scenes there isn't some of that going on. And, yeah. But don't tell me you changed your mind. Just stand pat. But I understand he's got a family, right? And so their whole thing is we will get you to submit. We'll get you to submit. And that's what happens. They got you to submit. Because they morally judged you as they are superior, and in doing so, you must bow down to them or else. But don't worry, because they're super open-minded. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet at us. Lollapalooza still around this weekend. We just talked about it. Ninja, the big gamer, is going to be playing games there. But like everything, man, this is a different world. And especially after what just took place at the Garlic Festival out there in Gilroy, they got to lock it up.
It's like a fortress at the entrance of Lollapalooza. Police officers, security guards, metal detectors, bags are being checked, concert goers being wanted. Chicago police helicopters fly overhead. Outside of concert grounds, police are stationed at every corner, some on bikes, some on foot. But it's the officers that we can't see that may be the most critical if a safety issue were to arise. Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson says police have undercover officers on the ground. They also have officers perched on top of buildings that overlook Grant Park.
Yeah, and that's the way, that's the way it's going to be. I mean, I'm surprised, and so that if you think about it, what took place at Vegas was awful. This past weekend, they responded so quickly. There were officers there. But if you looked at things like Coachella, you look at places like Disneyland and Epcot Center and, all these big things and even sporting events, the reality is we've kind of gone unscathed. As horrible as it has been, that's a good thing. That's a blessing that nothing's happened. And now they know, hey, we got to double check things in the back. Make sure things in the back is aight. We know people getting in here. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. NFL back tonight, Hall of Fame game. The first one, I think in earnest, everything kicks off a week from today. But tonight you've got the Atlanta Falcons and the Denver Broncos. You usually get the guys come in, they play 1 or 2 reps. There's 100 guys on the sidelines, and 50 of them will not be there in 2 or 3 weeks. But it's still uniforms we recognize, guys smashing into each other. I'm excited, and yes, I'm going to watch it. I am. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. This is Chad Benson Show.
This is the Chad Benson Show. Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
I don't know. I can't tell you whether or not they're going to do that chant. If they do the chant, we'll have to see what happens.
Trump in the Natty tonight. Holding a rally, fundraiser, doing what you do. Campaign time. He's out there. We've had back-to-back. We've had a night of uber progressives. We had a night of familiar faces with some progressiveness and some interesting stuff. And then tonight we'll have Trump being Trump. And, of course, the chant is what? Send her back, send her back. Will that happen tonight? I don't know. My assumption is yes, and you'll get a wry smile out of him, and then he'll say, calm down. You know what? This is not who we are. And then he'll say something smart alecky, right? Because that's kind of what I would do. He plays to the crowd. He does. He plays to the crowd. So Trump likes to do. Last 2 days, you've heard the progressives go at it. You've seen some middle-of-the-road people who've got zero name recognition, who make sense and are closer to what I think the American electorate is as far as ideology and thought. And, you've seen a battle. Did anything change over the last couple of days? Nothing has changed. Right? We've got a long way to go. I think what you're going to see is we've got 20 now. I think by the time the next one comes, which isn't going to be till September, so we have a full month off because everybody's in recess and the whole 9 years. Don't worry, the Senate stayed around long enough to pass a bill that was ridiculous and cost us a ton of money. And we worry about climate change. We're not going to get there with the debt we have. But we've got a month and only 7 people have qualified. Andrew Yang is very close to qualifying. I love the Yang dog. I'm just saying. I love the Yang dog. Right? I love it. So, but he's close to qualifying. I think we'll probably have 12 qualify, which will be good because it's scheduled for 2 nights. So if only 10 qualified, they'll probably, my assumption is they'll do 5 and 5. But you just never know. Maybe they just do just one night. I couldn't tell you. So what comes from this? And then from there, I think you'll start to see it as it comes fast and furious. Boom, boom, boom. We'll whittle ourselves down. By the time we get to October, November, it'll be 4, maybe 5. Maybe. So we'll see. We'll see. What do people feel about the president? Man on the street, people out there talking about him, right? They watched those things last night, and people have questions about all these people. But there are still some people that are diehard Trump supporters. They're not going anywhere.
The statement that he made was, if you're not happy here, here is America. If you're not happy here, the way things are being run, then yes, you need to go back where you came from, because We are Americans, and we want to move forward with America, freedom and liberty. You track Trump, he's going to fight back. So they want a war, they got one. I just think Trump just says what everybody else thinks.
This race thing is just rhetoric. They're just making it race to denigrate the president.
Is that what they're doing? Sounds like Trump supporters. Just throwing it out there. Feels a little. They want war. Look, Trump's going to play the game. He's good at it. They're giving him tons of ammunition, right? With a lot of the stuff that they're pushing, they're giving him a ton of ammunition. Ammunition, by the way, if you will, or material, or whatever makes you feel good, that even the mainstream Democrat voter is uncomfortable with. Free everything. It's a little uncomfortable, right? I'm a little uncomfortable with free everything. Well, Chad, it's not free, but you get what they're saying is, I understand what you're saying, but it doesn't play well. Even Joe Scarborough, right? Who he and his wife can't stand the president, even though he used to go on the show all the time. And I think they had a decent relationship. Even he said, no.
Some people on the debate stage are saying you get health care for life, free health care for life, right. free education for life. I mean, free everything for life. I'm sorry. Right. Some people on Twitter may not like to hear this. That ain't going to sell in Youngstown, Ohio. That ain't going to sell in Macomb County, Michigan. And that ain't going to sell in Wisconsin.
It's not. It's not going to sell. Right? It's not. And last night you had more of the same. They're battling over health care. They're battling over immigration. It's interesting, and Bernie's talking about Canada and Denmark and all of these things. I got into it with a guy yesterday, and I got into it, but he was just, when we were talking about Denmark, and I was explaining how it works in Denmark, and I don't think people understand. And well, they're not miserable. I never said they were miserable. No, they're happy. Right? Some of them are. I've got two friends, my buddy Kelki. His name's Thomas. We call him Kelki. And Lars, my old business partner, was born and raised in Aarhus. I spent a ton of time there. It's a beautiful, wonderful country. But you know what they are? It's a society that is all Dane. They're about themselves first and foremost. They're proud of who they are. And everybody's pulling in the same direction. Right? They're all pulling in the same direction. If you come to Denmark, they want you to be Danish. Here, you come here, we don't care what you are. You don't have to be American. We're not even asking you to do that. Don't even worry about it. Keep your diversity. Do all the things you want to do. Knock yourself out. I got into an Uber a week ago. Guy picks me up. He speaks no English. Speaks, just a smidge of English. He's been here since the early 90s. He lived in Chicago for a while, he said. And then now he lives in L.A. because it's easier because of Koreatown. And I'm like, we don't ask you to assimilate. We don't ask you to do these things. You just be you from where you are. It's, and I don't think people understand that. And the guy kept saying, well, he kept tweeting me back saying, well, it's a race. Are you saying it's a race thing? I'm not saying that. I'm saying is everybody's on the same page, right? Everybody's on the same page. By the way, the Danes aren't very politically correct, right? They're fine with cat whistles, the Me Too thing they laugh at, so much of the stuff that Bernie and them are pushing is under this pretense of, we're just want to be like these people who are the happiest people. But they're not. They're not pushing the same thing, right? They want your money. They want more control. In Denmark, it's a totally free market society. They realize it doesn't work without success. They tried true socialism, and it died. There's no wealth tax. There's no inheritance tax. Everybody gets that they have a part to play. In this country, we have a lot of people who tell everybody what victims they are, how bad everything is, and that you don't have to do your part. Don't worry, the government will. And for all of those of you keeping score in the wokeness of Denmark and a lot of these other countries, even the left, which just took back control in Denmark, They took control by saying they were going to crack down on immigration big time. You come here, you're coming here for the cradle to the graves, health care, and benefits. You're either going to be a Dane or you're going to go back to where you came from. And a lot of people have decided, no, we don't want to do that. We want to be who we are, and so we'll leave. And they're like, that's fine. And they were taking people's goods. Everybody just thinks it's, oh, I never once said that they were a miserable people. Hell no. It is a gorgeous country. The people are amazing. But they also have a society that is singular in pretty much everything they do. The way they live their life, how they act, all of that stuff is, they don't have diversity. Everybody's on the same page. There's not 12 languages spoken inside of a classroom. Everybody's on the same page, pulling in the same direction. Nobody's a victim. There's no intersectionality, any of those things. They are who they are. And they're proud about it. And we've lost that somewhere. We're like, you can't say stuff like that, Chad. That's uncomfortable for people. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show, Twitter. You could tweet at us. Oh, man. Grandma. You should have listened to the cop. Chad Benson Show.
Chad Benson Show, where we make no apologies, although we do say a few Hail Marys and Our Fathers now and then. Amen.
Grandma. Anybody ever watch at all live PD cops, any of those things? Right? Anybody ever have a run-in with police officers? Right? What do they always tell you? Be nice to us, we'll be nice to you. What else do they always tell you? Right? You be honest with us, we'll be honest with you. Grandma, Oklahoma, decides, hey, her name's Deborah Hammer. I want none of what you got. This is the video cam footage and the audio of Grandma, who this time didn't get run over by a reindeer, but she did get a little shock.
For a defective equipment, it's $80. You have till September 16th to take care of this. Get you to sign there where the X is.
So you don't even give a warning for this?
You've been driving around for 6 months like that.
I'm truthful.
Well, I'm not going to give you a warning for something you've been driving for 6 months.
Well, I don't want to sign it because I don't want to do $80.
You don't want to sign it?
No, because I don't think that I deserve to pay $80 for something that is fixable and I can fix it. All right. If that's all you want to do.
Go ahead, step out of the car.
Why?
Because you're under arrest. Step out.
All right, so maybe he went a little quick, right? And we're only just getting this, but the reality is he seemed pretty cool, right? It's $80. She's driving a nice truck. 6 months you've had this issue and you've not taken care of it. My mom would say to me, this is what happens. You let things snowball. She would also said that I would have told my mom this. If my mother did this, I would say you got what you deserved. Just as if you or I did this, chances are our moms would say you got what you deserved. Oh, she's just getting started.
Step out of the vehicle.
No, I'm not.
Step out.
No.
Step out. I'm giving you a lawful order. Step out.
You be fair with me and I'll be fair with you.
Step out.
No.
You're under arrest.
No, I'm not.
I'm placing you under arrest. Step out.
You are full of because you're not placing me under no arrest.
Do not take off.
Shut up and give me that and I'll sign it.
Step out.
No.
We're beyond that.
You want me
Step out.
Okay, what you heard. So as this all starts to go on, she said, fine, I'll sign it. But that was after she locked the door and rolled up the window. She cussed at him. Then she turned her car on and he said, don't do it. And she did. She went running.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
You better leave me.
Put your hands behind your back.
Leave me alone.
Put your hands behind your back.
No.
Now. Put your hands behind your back. Now. No, you will not. You're going to get it again.
Chad, you shouldn't laugh. Why? All you have to do is sign it and take it. Right? That's it. Just sign it, take it, be done with it. This is his job. Do you think he wants to chase you, a 65-year-old woman? Well, he shouldn't have tased her. Well, she wouldn't get out of the car. She finally stopped, right? And she's like, well, I wasn't running. Okay, well, tell me this. If you're in a car and a cop tells you to get out, and then you you stay in the car, you lock the doors, and you speed off, what would you consider that? I'm not a smart man, but I believe that is called running. So she fights with him, gets him out, tries to kick him in the grundle. So he has to tase her. She doesn't listen again. He has to again. And then they have a nice little exchange.
What hurts?
Everything.
All right, I got EMS on the way. Just hang tight.
You got a what on the way?
I got ambulance on the way to check you out.
Ambulance? I don't need an ambulance.
Well, you got tased, so they got to check you out.
You did not have to taser me.
You wouldn't comply. You wouldn't get out. And then you tried to kick me. So, yes, I did.
Yeah, I tried to kick you because I'm a country girl. Because, no, I didn't like being thrown on the floor. And you got tased because of it. Yes, and I didn't like being thrown on the ground.
Well, next time, listen to what I'm telling you to do.
That's it. Just listen. That's all he asked. This should be a lesson. This is just a little lesson right here, people. They ask you to do something, and you're cool to them. They'll be cool to you, right? I mean, isn't that anybody in anything, in any walk of life, at any business? I think so. I mean, you're going to still run into jerks no matter how kind and nice you are. That's going to happen every once in a while. But this was unnecessary. And everybody's like, I feel bad for her. Other people are doing what they usually do. Well, if she was black, she'd have been shot. I'm like, 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You could tweet at us. Love hearing from all of you tonight. Trump doing battle. He's not really. He's doing what he's doing. He's holding a rally tonight. Going to get out there. See if people are going to chant, send her back, send her back. It's in Cincinnati. And he's got a lot to talk about tonight. He does. He's got a ton of stuff to talk about tonight when it comes to the Democrats. And it'll be interesting to watch the way that this goes. It will be. How does this play itself out? Who's going to take the lead? Who's going to be the voice of reason? I'm curious about that. Is there a voice of reason on the left? That you say you want to appeal to everybody. You know you're not going to get a certain amount of people because they're already in their bases. They're entrenched. They've got their thought process. They're not going to deviate from it. But how about the other people? Right? People like me. I tell everybody, I'm a free agent. Win me over. Nobody's doing it. Not yet. Biden, I enjoy. But I liked a couple of the other people. I'm a Yang guy. He makes me laugh. I'll give you a look, Yang. Let's see what you do. I like the fact that he didn't wear a tie. So that's all anybody was talking about last time. Wasn't wearing a tie. I wasn't wearing a tie. Who had a tie? Not me. What were you guys talking about? Me not wearing a tie. Tim Ryan the night before didn't have his hand over his heart. He hates America. Oh, God. People look for anything they can to talk about stuff. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Super excited. A little football tonight. A little NFL football, baby. Think about this. I want you guys to think about this. A banana or any food could kill you. And kids decide, we'll show you, teacher. Yeah, wait till you hear this story. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. It's the Chad Benson Show.
Chad Benson Show.
Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
some people on the debate stage are saying you get health care for life, free health care for life, free education for life. I mean, free everything for life. I'm sorry. Some people on Twitter may not like to hear this. That ain't going to sell in Youngstown, Ohio. That ain't going to sell in Macomb County, Michigan. And that ain't going to sell in Wisconsin.
No, it's not. Joe Scarborough's right. That's not going to sell. Hence the reason that even after the dip that Biden had after the last Democratic debate, he started to pull away from everybody again. Because there is this is the thing. Here's a perfect example of free market capitalism. I'm going to give the Democrats a little something. In life, if you want to be successful, there's several ways to do it. But one of the biggest thing is find the need that's out there. Fill that need. When you look to poll after poll after poll after poll after poll, what do you find? People are looking for somebody who's moderate. They're willing to listen to some of the ideas, but not all of them. And they don't want the fringes on either side to be the talking points. We hear how divided we are as a nation. I'm going to tell you right now, we're not as divided as people think. The fringes are further away. The majority of us, the exhausted majority, we've all stayed here, right? I feel like we're a boat that's pulling away, right? We were in a slip, and those people are still on the slip, and we're starting to pull out, and maybe that's what we need to do. It's crazy. It is. And those things aren't going to sell. They may be good television. It may be good theater. It may be good entertainment, but it's bad policy. And it's not going to work. I know they want to see King Kong versus Godzilla in the debates. I know they want to see fireworks, right? They all learned last year what that brings you. Ratings-wise, what they could charge. But does it translate to votes? I don't think it does. Right there, it's there for the taking. It's absolutely there for the taking. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Feel free to tweet at me. I do love hearing from you. A banana. How dangerous is a banana? I think these kids are absolutely did something horrific here. When you hear the story of what they did to this teacher and you're thinking it's a banana. How did they know? Oh, they knew. And they did so in such a way that, damn Skippy, they should be charged.
What's going on?
I called for you.
Moments before this police response to Starling K-8 last school year.
All of the kids know that she is definitely allergic to bananas. If it touches her, she will go into anaphylactic.
3 students pulled a prank on their art teacher who had told them and posted signs outside of her class that she is severely allergic to bananas.
Yeah, severely allergic. So supposedly all the kids knew, right? Like, oh, no, what? No, they knew. This was not a surprise at all. And what they did is awful. And I asked myself again the question, I pulled pranks as a kid, right? I was an awful student. I was fun to have in the room, an awful student. I'd pull pranks and do stuff. I never once wanted to endanger anybody or see anything happen. And we've gotten to this weird world now where you got to go big, apparently, or go home.
She dubbed her art space the Banana Free Zone. She asks all children who may have eaten a banana to wash their hands.
They're sitting here and they were eating their lunch, so one of them takes a banana, sits on the door.
Body camera video obtained by Scoring Our Schools from Columbus Police shows when they responded.
Yeah, so they're taking bananas. You walk into a classroom, it says banana free zone. Don't have bananas, allergic reaction, all of this stuff. Like if you ate a banana, fine that you eat a banana, but don't bring it in here. Wash your hands. So don't tell me you didn't know, right? These are kids. These are 7th graders. These are 7th graders. And for those of you who don't know, allergic reactions, like there's some where you get itches and hives and stuff, and then there's deathly allergic. EpiPen, hurry up, super allergic, I can't breathe. And that is what everybody in the school knew. And yet 3 kids thought, well, I'll go and do this.
Columbus City School security told officers the teacher's 3 attackers smeared banana on her door on the knob and then started throwing them at her while she was inside of the class. Detectives found the fruit under a table after it had hit the teacher's arm and leg.
Like that could be attempted murder.
How old are these kids?
How old?
Yeah.
7th grade.
The teacher went into anaphylactic shock in less than 15 minutes.
Yeah, big time. It's an awful thing. And this is one of those questions you asked, like, okay, parenting, and you can't ask that nowadays. It's a parenting thing. Let's talk about that. How did you get here? Great parents will, every once in a great while, they'll have a kid that goes wrong or is bad, right? That happens. It does. You know, my mom was a great parent to my sister. She went on her own path. She tried everything. My mother gave her every advantage in life, tried everything, every therapy, every single thing she possibly could. It didn't work. Didn't work. She tried. Didn't work. But you hear about this all the time. I mean, from pranks on each other to things like this. You knowingly know that somebody is that deathly allergic and you throwing it, you're attacking them. It's a banana. You're still attacking them.
For the 2 13-year-old boys,
this is a foster home.
This is a foster home. Mm-hmm. One boy lived at this address at the time of the incident last November. We do not know why. I came into contact with the other boy's brother, who in turn called their mother.
Yeah, so they called the mom of one of the kids. This is the perfect example of, to me, just crappy parenting. Right? Listen to this.
I know that all 3 have already gone through juvenile court.
Her son was sentenced to probation.
Do you feel that teachers should be fearful in going to work?
The mother's response, conditions are tough.
But this was an attempt to do her bodily harm.
But she said some teachers just don't care about the kids.
Wait. So what you're telling me is that teacher didn't care about your kids, so that gives them the right to try and kill her? What? This is my God. This is one of you scratch your head things, but this is not abnormal anymore. This is like, I talk to teachers all the time, have them on my show. And one of the shows that I do, I talk to teachers at least once a week about stuff. And off the record, they'll tell me stuff that you're just like, whoa. I got several friends that are teachers. And the things that go on and the things that kids do is at times just insane. And some of it is all for the YouTube and stuff. And some of it is just these kids run wild. And your response as a mom, who, by the way, apparently didn't have her kids, so they were foster care, but then they got a hold of them, is, well, teachers don't like the kids either. Wow. Parenting. I'm telling you. Parenting. Last night in the debates, they got into it. It was Gillibrand and, God, what was his name? Biden. And it was over, something he wrote in an op-ed piece, God knows when, in the 70s or 80s. And she was going after him about, like, not women and this, that, and the other. And because women out of the home are doing something to the fabric of the country, something he wrote in an op-ed, God knows how long ago. Right? And wants him to justify that. It's one of those things that we can't ever talk about the truth in life. Right? We can't, because the fear factor is that if you say something that, even if it's backed by data, like having a mother and a father in a child's life is better. Waiting to get married and then having a child is better. Right? Waiting till you're older and more responsible to have a child is better. Right? Graduating high school and then college. I mean, but you can't say that, right? Because you're going to offend somebody. And usually the person Usually the person that everybody's sticking up for is not offended. Everybody's offended for them, right? Because you can't dare say something that's real. Even if the numbers back it up. You can't. No, don't do that. That's going to hurt somebody's feelings. It's a bunch of crap. It's a bunch of crap. My mom used to tell me all the time. Because I grew up with my father. He died when I was 16. But at least I had him in my life. He wasn't always in my life, but he was always in my life. I'd talk to him. I'd see him. It wasn't like I lived with him. He had a lot of problems, but he was there. And my mom used to say all the time, if your dad was alive, I don't think this would ever happen to your sister. And those people out there who think that, oh, this is easy. No, I've yet to talk to a single mom and go, wow, this is just so much easier. It's so much better for the kid. And vice versa. I realize sometimes some things happen. But it's crazy. It's just nuts. And, God, can't talk about truth. Yesterday, what happened, huh? You got old Mario Lopez having to apologize for what? For saying at 3 years old, maybe it's a little bit early in life to decide what gender you want to be. And then starting you on all of the stuff and moving you in that direction. Why? Because that's the honest truth. I think it's a little early. I'm going to go with that. You get 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, you have these feelings, we can start discussing things. At some point in time, it's a little bit early, all right? Good God. So stupid. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet at us. Speaking of stupid, I find this stupid, Italy. The other day, you're telling everybody you can't even bring lunches to school anymore? Everybody's got to have the same damn lunch. Now you're telling me no golden arches?
When it comes to McDonald's opening up near historical monuments, the city of Rome is not loving it. Its cultural ministry has barred the construction of McDonald's next to the baths of Caracalla. That's an ancient spa once enjoyed by everyone from the poor of Rome to powerful senators. Rome's mayor Virginia Raggi said the city needs to protect its wonders. The first McDonald's went in near the famed Spanish Steps in 1986, despite fierce opposition by intellectuals and activists.
Yeah, anytime somebody's an intellectual and say, I have a real issue with this, I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to get a Big Mac. Just let you know that. Oh, my goodness. 323-538-2423. And for those of you who've traveled the world and you try new stuff and food is great, I tell you what, I was blessed to be able to live all over and travel, do so many things. It was so funny, though. Sometimes I go into a McDonald's or a Pizza Hut, and you look around, especially in London, there's 100 people in there, and 98 of them are Americans. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Check this out. I got some new earbuds. They're amazing. If you know what earbuds are, so you got headphones, right? Right? And then you've got the wireless Bluetooth earbuds that you stick in your ear, and they got those little stems. We know what we're talking about there. And then some of those other ones you can put in your ears, and they go around your ears, and they got the dangly little wire, but they're still Bluetooth. And then there's ones that are 10 times better than those at half the price, and that's Raycon. They're incredible. Earbuds start out at half the price of any of these premium wireless earbuds on the market. They sound incredible. The company was co-founded by Ray J, Snoop Dogg, Cardi B. Yeah, they all had a hand in this thing. It is amazing. The Raycon E50 wireless earbuds have totally changed the game. When I go out and do stuff, it is incredible. I don't have to worry about the dangling wires, the stems, none of that stuff. And when I make phone calls, the thing I love about it is you don't hear all of the other noise. Like a lot of that times, it's like people are like, you on a headphone or headset? No, you hear none of that. It is amazing. They look amazing. They sound amazing. And again, half the price. Plus, you can get 15% off right now. Simple and easy. Check it out for yourself. Go to buyraycon.com/Chad. That's buyraycon.com/Chad. 15% off Raycon wireless earbuds. If you've been looking at a pair, you've been thinking, I want to try that, this is the time. This deal's amazing. Get it now. Buyraycon.com/Chad. Chad Benson Show.
Running with scissors sounds great compared to this.
Say what? The FBI Chicago office issuing a rare statement as well as a photo of John Dillinger's death mask. It hopes to squash what it calls a common myth that agents killed a stand-in outside of a Chicago theater 85 years ago. Questions about the notorious mobster's death have heated up upon news Dillinger's family is planning to exhume his body from an Indianapolis cemetery as part of an upcoming History Channel documentary. The FBI says agents killed Dillinger on July 22nd, 1934, as he reached for a pistol from his trouser pocket.
Yeah, know this. The romanticism with all of these old-time hoods and criminals, they were awful human beings. Bonnie and Clyde were awful. They were. Right? Like, they were awful. Big time. Dillinger, Babyface Nelson, all of them were vile individuals. And they killed, and they had no problem doing it, and they were uber violent. I mean, the things that, like, when they finally got Bonnie and Clyde, the stuff that she did in particular was nasty. Nasty. Including rolling over one officer so she could look in his face when she killed him as she put her foot on his throat. So, yeah, you know, Dillinger, all them, they knew their life was going to be short, but it was going to be violent, and they want to take as many people with them as possible. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet at us. Love hearing from you. Tonight, Trump's in the Natty.
The Democrats spent more time attacking Barack Obama than they did attacking me, practically.
Yeah, and they're out today, of course, talking about how much they love Barack, and, look, he gets it. Here's the thing, though. At some point in time, he's going to speak up. And when it gets to the final two, if it's Elizabeth Warren and Joe Biden and Barack is still very popular, who do you think he's going to throw his weight behind? The person that's going to undo a lot of what he's done in his legacy, or the guy that was with him for the ride? Putting it out there, kids. Putting it out there. I think he's going to go with the person who did it for with him. Because remember this. They got egos. You don't get to that point without having egos. And legacy is vitally important. And if ACA goes away and he's talking about renegotiating some stuff and doing some things, I'm telling you guys, what will he be then? That's a very good question. So, yeah, I think he wants to protect a bit of his legacy. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. You can tweet at us. You can check out the Instagram as well. We're going to be doing some live television stuff coming up that you guys are going to be able to tune into and check out. Always trying to expand, always trying to do things. Check out thechadshow.com. Grab your podcast. It's absolutely free. This is The Chad Benson Show.
This is The Chad Benson Show. Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
Well, what a night it was. Live from Detroit, everybody. It's the CNN Superstar. You know what it looked like last night? So I'm in the studios out in Phoenix. So, because I do like 8,000 shows a day. So I'm out there, and we have like 4 TVs in this big studio. And I have my own studio where I just have one TV. It's behind me. But when I'm in this other studio, they have 4 TVs and they've got all kinds of stuff on there, and so it's like one of them's MSNBC, one's Fox, one's CNN, and one of them is CNBC. And it was a game show. It was the Deal or No Deal. And I'm looking at the CNN debates, and I'm looking over there, and I'm like, my God, it feels like a game show. It does. You know what it reminds me? A little Price is Right? Like everybody's turning around and the audience is all free. It's free. I'm going to say free, Bob. Or Drew. I still say Bob. But I'm going to say free. And then everybody's, it just, oh, goodness me. They talked about all kinds of stuff last night. They did. They got down. They got dirty. But most of it, in a lot of ways, was hyper-focused on a singular person that's not in their party and that is not on the debate stage.
We have got to take on Trump's racism, his sexism, xenophobia, and come together.
Ask yourself how somebody like Donald Trump ever gets within cheating distance of the Oval Office in the first place.
Donald Trump is part of a corrupt, rigged system.
The idea that America is doing just fine is wrong. Not only that, this president always likes to take credit, like he did this.
We have a predator living in the White House.
The crisis is Donald Trump, but not only Donald Trump.
Everybody knows who Donald Trump is. We have to let him know who we are.
The first thing that I'm going to do when I'm president is I'm going to Clorox the Oval Office.
You know what's amazing? Like, Trump is divisive, right? And look, there's something to that. The reality is we were kind of divided before this, but the difference is I think the average person, right? The average Republican. It's the average Republican and the average Democrat. There's about 75%. You add us all up, about 75, 80% of us, right? And then you got 10% on the fringes. They're moving further away from each other. I mean, you can go on TV and you can say horrible things about the president and then say, well, he's dividing us. Aren't you giving as good as you're getting? Right? I'm just curious. But he's living in your head rent-free. You have to win the nomination. That's the way it goes. You don't. This isn't like, hey, you know what? We got a first round bye, and I only have to show up for the big election. No, you've got to get through all of it, right? This is this first two debates were kind of the preseason because now we're going to weed some folks out, right? Like Bullock's probably not going to make it. Right now, there's only 7 people that are qualified, and Yang. And thank God they gave Yang a little time last night, man. I love me some Yang. He's going to give everybody $1,000. I'm pretty excited about that. They gave him a little, but he looks to have qualified. So that would be 8. They're scheduled for 2 nights, but the possibility is they may only get to 10 because there's qualifications for this. Once you get to that point, that kind of starts the real season, right? Like in sports terminology. Then they'll narrow it down to it's just the playoffs with 3 or 4 playoffs. Then you'll get to the one, which will be the Super Bowl, the World Cup, the Olympics. And that'll be the person who takes on Trump. This is preseason right now. A lot of talk last night about all kinds of stuff, from healthcare to immigration. Let's touch on a few things.
Anytime someone tells you you're going to get something good in 10 years, you should wonder why it takes 10 years. If you notice, there's no talk about the fact that the plan in 10 years will cost $3 trillion. You will lose your employer-based insurance. And to be very blunt and to be very straightforward, you can't beat President Trump with double talk on this plan.
Unfortunately, Vice President Biden, you're just simply inaccurate in what you're describing. The reality is that our plan will bring health care to all Americans under a Medicare for All system.
Okay, so Obamacare and Obama and his legacy is getting trashed right now. Biden was fighting 2 fights last night. One for the legacy of his president and his vice presidency, and then his legacy for all the years he served, right? Doing what he did. So it's funny to watch this, but here's the funny thing. Kamala Harris is playing this game that is really funny, which is, no, I'm not going to take away your health insurance. Yes, I'm going to take it away. But no, I'm not. But we really are. But I want to tell you I'm not going to. But if you read it, I actually do. Oh, well, which is it? Exactly. Which one do you want it to be? Well, we want it to be the one where we have choice, maybe. It's exactly that one, except for the part for choice. Except for the part for choice. And this is my question, right? And as a person who, look, I was pissed that government got more involved with Obamacare, but it is what it is. And I said, well, let's make the best of it, and maybe it'll turn out right. It didn't turn out right. Now, they're like, it doesn't work. It sucks. even though we were the ones who put it out there. So you can blame Trump all you want. They tried to fix it in a horrible way because they were useless, the Republicans, as usual. They couldn't even figure that thing out. But now you want to take even more control over health care? I'm going to have a big pass on that. I am. I'm going to have a big pass on that. Thank you. I appreciate the effort. I'm not even talking about whether or not my taxes are going to go up, which very few people will answer, and nobody wants to talk about the price tag of some of these things. I want to ask the question is, you guys screwed this thing up. You sank a boat. You crashed a plane. You derailed a train. And now you want me to give keys to my car to you. Not quite sure I want to be a part of this.
Under your plan, status quo, you do nothing to hold the insurance companies to task for what they have been doing to American families.
Under your plan? Well, whose plan was that? I'm just curious. Whose plan was that? Under your plan, under Obama's, under the ACA? What's Obama's legacy? I'd like some people to answer that. What do you think his legacy is? Honestly. He's sitting there watching his legacy be torn apart from top to bottom. But what is he going to be remembered for? I'm just curious. You're going to get rid of Obamacare because it didn't work. So his singular thing that he did, his big achievement, you're going to get rid of. I'm curious. So what do you have left? I mean, my God, if Trump is a one-termer and he gets two people on the court and tips the balance of the court, in theory, his legacy could be way bigger. I'm curious. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show. Here's your Twitter. You can tweet at us. So much stuff still to get to. I'm fascinated by some of this stuff. And if I'm Obama and I'm sitting there and I'm looking and it's just, he's getting hammered over and over again. What is he thinking about this? Like, what is he's like, wow. Like, that's what you guys, you're pretty much just throwing me out and my legacy and everything that Joe says, you guys contradict and you come after. That's an interesting thing. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show, Twitter.
I must tell you, I was a little surprised at how much incoming was about Barack, about the president. I mean, I'm proud of having served with him. I'm proud of the job he did.
Yeah, well, they're not, and they want to take it to task. They do. Something else that happened today that was awful is we patched a budget deal that is nasty, it is ugly, it is expensive, and it shows you that the Republicans are as hypocritical and as full as crap as anybody else. And if you're out there like, I'm a Republican, I'm fiscally responsible, well, these people in D.C. aren't fiscally responsible.
Get this. All of those who said debt was bad under President Obama will today snuggle their way up, wiggle their way up to the spending trough, and they will do exactly what they condemned under President Obama. Shame.
Absolutely, Rand Paul. I agree 110%. Shame, 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 shame. And I don't care, well, we had to do this or we had to. No, you know what? You could have done something. 2 years now. They've raised the debt limit for 2 years. So we're not having any more arguments about it. It is going to be a free-for-all of spending. Are you kidding me? Oh, goodness me. I tell you what. That is absolutely frustrating. Right? We should, if we're going to be adding money somewhere, we should be cutting it other places. And Trump signing this shows you, hey, this is, you love spending. Well, spend all this money. And I hear the people on the left going, you spend all this money on the military that you get. Yeah, for every dollar in the military, what are we spending on other programs? $1.50? $1.25? Oh, trust me, everybody's got their hands in this. But it shows you that other people's money, they'll spend the hell out of it. They don't care. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. NFL football tonight. I know it's not football that's coming in a month or so, but it is good to at least see guys in uniforms hitting each other, playing. Our long national nightmare of waiting has come to an end. It's the Hall of Fame game. It's the Broncos. It's the Falcons. This will be interesting. I will watch it. Why? Because I like it. I'm interested to see what the ratings are tonight, and then compare them to what we saw last night and the night before. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show, Twitter, Instagram as well. Check out the Chad Benson Show page on Facebook. Apparently that's where the kids aren't going nowadays. Just want to let you guys know that. ZipRecruiter, right? Amazing. What are they doing right now? Well, they're helping you. It's a tight job market out there, meaning you got jobs to fill, but you are having a tough time. You're competing in the wrong place, right? You're chasing crumbs. Don't do that. Get with ZipRecruiter. Check out ZipRecruiter.com/Benson. Get there with them, and they're going to show you in so many ways what they're capable of doing. They've got an amazing technology. And what they do is they have the smart matching technology, which means you go and you're like, hey, I'm going to, I can post my job for free, Chad. Absolutely. I just gave you the thing. ZipRecruiter.com/Benson. You go there. What you do from there is pretty simple. Once you post it, it's going to go to 100 of the web's leading job boards. That's what it sounds like when it leaves. Out it goes. Then, right, people are going to start looking for jobs. Hey, I've got those skills. I've got that. ZipRecruiter is going to start matching everything up together, and they're going to invite them to apply to your job, right? So you're not fighting for crumbs anymore. They're going to come to you, and then they're going to go, all right, here, because of our matching tools, these are the 50 or 100 best people based on all the responses you got that you want to look at. All the other ones are good, but these are the best. In fact, get ready for this. 4 out of 5 employers post a job on ZipRecruiter, get a quality candidate through the site within a day. What are you waiting for? Try it for free now. ZipRecruiter.com/Benson. Use that exclusive web address. You can try it for free. ZipRecruiter.com/BENSON. ZipRecruiter.com/Benson. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Chad Benson Show.
I'm exhausted.
If you're part of the politically exhausted majority, don't fear. Your time to be validated and rejuvenated is here. Wake up. It's the Chad Benson Show.
Yeah. Time to be energized. If you like Burger King's, the Impossible Burger, right? So they got those, everybody's rolling out the meat-free hamburger. Next week, it will be in every restaurant in America. Still can't get some of these things inside the supermarkets, which people are asking about. So, but you will now be able to get it in Burger King's, right? So it's Beyond Meat. That's the one at Carl's Jr., and then you got the Impossible Burger. And here's the other thing, though. Now scientists are starting to take a look at it and go, okay, now let's look at the nutritional value of some of this stuff, because we got some. We've got a few questions there, like how nutritionally, how good is this for you? Well, it's got to be better than meat. Well, does it? Right? You never know with these things. Then we go and we look and we're like, oh my God, it's far worse than we thought.
President Trump says he's moving forward with these new tariffs because China has not followed through on its promise to buy U.S. agriculture products. The president writes on Twitter that China's President Xi told him he would stop the sale of the deadly drug fentanyl to the U.S., but, quote, this never happened. Top Trump administration officials were in China this week for trade talks, which resulted in no major breakthrough. Still, the president writes on Twitter, quote, we look forward to continuing our positive dialogue with China on a comprehensive trade deal.
Sure you do. When does this bite him in the butt, right? So the market's off a little bit, and it's going to, he's pissed because he didn't get the rate cuts, promise of more rate cuts, and then you've got more tariffs, and then you've got the fact that you've now just signed this massive budget. There's a question there. And I understand what you're doing with China. Over the last 2 days, I've seen everybody's like, I'm going to take the tariffs off of China. It's not just about – one thing Biden said yesterday about that is, no, we need to go in and we need to hold them accountable and we need to rewrite some of these things in the World Trade Organization, and because they go and they break every rule and nobody holds them accountable. And it's not just about trade. It's about the bigger thing that China is doing. And he said something last night. This is between where people want to go in the world of free markets and capitalism. Is it going to be China writing the rules and everybody heading in that direction? Or is it going to be America that is going to be the one that's going to put those things together? And I thought that was very real, right? Everybody else, I think, missed the mark. Well, I take those things off immediately. You're not getting at the bigger picture. Not just intellectual theft, not just the fact that they break every rule that's out there, not just all of those things. There's a bigger thing at play here in what China wants to do globally and how they want to dominate. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Grandma gets arrested. Oh, yeah. Body cam footage. Ooh, Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show.
Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
What these Democrats are doing is taking the voters in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, who may not like everything Trump does, but they're looking at these Democrats and they're saying, I don't like everything Trump does, but these people are crazy.
Yeah, that's what they're looking at. I'm here to tell you guys, I'm an action person, right? Action. I like action. You show me through action what your intent is. Words mean very little. I don't like what he tweets. He's this, he's that, he's all of these things. I look at the actions. The actions say in a lot of ways he's not all that. Very moderate in a lot of ways. I look at action. He's not been the super classic conservative. No. The actions. Yeah, well, he's an embarrassment. He's a joke. He's a jerk. He's all of those things. Look at actions. Right? Look at some of the things he's done. Right? And then you step back and go, well, yeah, I can see, but he's a mean tweeter. He's a racist. Because that's the go-to for everything. But the words from the other people can be just as kooky. Just as crazy. And those actions, to me, scare me a lot more than what's out there. People say, you're going to vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Trump last time. I voted for Kasich. Well, you're going to vote for him now? I don't know who I'm voting for. Based on what I've seen on the stage, I may vote for me. I feel I do a damn fine job. Can I wear shorts? Can you wear shorts in that job? That'd definitely be a thing. I got to wear shorts. I'd have to be a short guy. Right, because I've seen the NBA players when they got the shorts on, but then they got a dress shirt. I could do that. Actions speak louder. But we live in a world where words seem to mean so much to people and feelings. So he's right. People are sitting there in the middle of the country, Reince Priebus, or Rance Priskin, as our good friend Don King called him. People are sitting there and they're saying, I don't like the way he tweets. I don't like the things he says. I don't like the way he acts. I don't like any of those things. But I hear what you guys are saying and where you want to take the country, and I like that even less. So we'll see. We'll see. It's a long way to go. Long way to go. Hey, each and every day we're starting to do something fun and new. I want to get you guys up to date on the things that are happening. We call this little What's Trending.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition, liftoff.
Now it's time to find out what's trending. What's trending? Yeah, what does that mean? I mean something, right? Like it's trending on the old intranet. What's trending? Oh, what is trending? So let's take a look at what's trending. What's the big thing that's going on that people are talking around the globe? Here in America, number one thing, And the number 2 thing is NFL preseason and the top 100. Number 3 was Jane the Virgin, John Coughlin, who was an Olympic figure skater, I guess. And the stock market, the CrossFit Games, of which I and producer Phil are not a part of this year. That guy's going for like his 5th in a row. The guy, it's just, he's really fit. Real-time searches. What's number 1? Ninja, Twitch TV, Fortnite. Number 1 in the last 24 hours. Crushing it. Donald Trump's tariffs, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, and the kid in India. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was a kid in India who had 526 teeth inside of his mouth. That is a lot of teeth. That is a ton of teeth. 526 teeth. And they removed them. What if they removed everyone? Like, oh, my God, dude. All right, so remember how you had all those teeth? And we're like, I just got so many teeth to spare. We went a little far, and we took everything out. So we have to start. Now we're going to have to put some back. We're going to let you pick the ones you want. And the kid's like, give me a grill. 526 teeth. He said doctors scanned and x-rayed his mouth. They found a sac embedded in his lower jaw filled with abnormal teeth. While the surgery to remove the teeth took place last month, doctors needed time to individually examine each tooth before they confirm their findings. There were a total of 526 teeth, ranging from 0.1 millimeters to 0.04 inches to 15 millimeters or 0.6 inches. Oh, my God. We've got some x-rays of it. It is, I'm not going to lie to you guys, it's a little haunting. It is a little haunting. Probably could have used Candid. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet us. So, you know, every once in a while, grandmas will do crazy things, you know. One time, you know, grandma got run over by a reindeer. But in Oklahoma, a grandma got arrested, and she even got tased. And you know what? I got zero problem with it.
For a defective equipment, it's $80. You have till September 16th to take care of this. Get you to sign there where the X is.
So you don't even give a warning for this?
You've been driving around for 6 months like that.
I'm truthful.
Well, I'm not going to give you a warning for something you've been driving for 6 months.
Well, I don't want to sign it because I don't want to do $80.
You don't want to sign it?
No, because I don't think that I deserve to pay $80 for something that is fixable and I can fix it.
All right.
If that's all you want to do.
Go ahead and step out of the car.
Why?
Because you're under arrest. Step out.
So, 65-year-old Deborah Hamill, been driving around apparently for a while. She's getting another ticket. She refuses. She refuses. She refuses. She won't take the ticket. She won't sign it. Then she rolls up her window and she locks her doors. And she refuses.
Step out of the vehicle.
No, I'm not.
Step out. No. Step out. I'm giving you a lawful order. Step out.
You be fair with me and I'll be fair with you.
Step out.
No.
You're under arrest.
No, I'm not.
I'm placing you under arrest. Step
you
out.
You are full of because you're not placing me under no arrest.
Do not take off.
Shut up and give me that and I'll sign it.
Step out.
No.
We're beyond that.
You want me
Step out.
All right. So she wouldn't take it originally. Then he got serious. And then she wouldn't get out. Then she rolled up the windows. She locked her doors. She cussed at him. And then she took off. She took off. He's like, don't do it. Don't do it. But what did she do? She did it. So he had to do what? He had to chase her.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
You better leave me.
Put your hands behind your back.
Leave me alone.
Put your hands behind your back.
No.
Now. Put your hands behind your back. Now. No, you will not. You're going to get it again.
So he finally got her out. She kicked him in the groin, in the grundle, right? And she was like, God, she was pissed. And all because she wouldn't take an $80 ticket. And she felt she had the right to basically tell him to screw it. And people are complaining. Well, some people are like, well, you know, if she was black, they would have shot her. Of course, there's always that go-to for everything, right? But And then some people are like, well, they shouldn't have done that. She looked right at him and said, what do you expect him to do? Not his job? Hey, don't do your job. Well, he shouldn't have tased her. She wouldn't get out of the car. She drove away. He chased her. And she even admitted kicking him in the balls.
Everything.
All right, I got EMS on the way. Just hang tight.
You got a what on the way?
I got an ambulance on the way to check you out.
Ambulance? I don't need an ambulance.
Well, you got tased, so they got to check you out.
You did not have to taser me.
You wouldn't comply. You wouldn't get out. And then you tried to kick me. So,
Why?
yes, I did.
Yeah, I tried to kick you because I'm a country girl. Because, no, I didn't
And you got
like being
tased
thrown
because
on
of
the
it.
floor. Yes, and I didn't like being thrown on the ground.
Well, next time, listen to what I'm telling you to do.
There you go. It would have been simple, right? But it's this weird thing where people think that they can look at cops and tell them to screw off. People think they can look at cops and dump water on them. There's like zero respect. And I was just like, damn. Grandma took off and grandma got caught and then grandma got lit. If that was my mom, somebody's like, I was talking to somebody and I'm like, earlier today, one of the news people, and like, oh, if that was my mom. If that was my mom, I'd have been like, why were you running? What a dumbass. I mean, I still love you at all. I mean, it's like you don't dislike him, but you can look at him and go, that was really a stupid thing to do. Why? Because grandma or mom would say the same thing to you, right? If you ran from the cops and they got it on footage, what would your mother say to you? Well, you acted like a fool, so you kind of got what you deserved. Same thing, right? She acted a fool. She got what she deserved. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet at me. Love hearing from you. I was talking last night, the fact that Obama's legacy seems to be right now under attack. And, so far today, Biden's come out. He's had to defend that. And he's defending his legacy and Obama's legacy. And Kamala Harris has come out. Oh, he's got nothing but respect for him, and he's just amazing, and and it just makes me laugh. It's like you're killing Joe and all of the things that they did, whether it's immigration or ACA, any of that stuff. You're going after them, and then you come out and I got nothing but respect. And it's interesting because the question is simple. It's like, what is his legacy? When all is said and done, you ask yourself, what's his legacy going to be? I think it's a fair question at this point in time, because if you want to tear down everything Joe and Barack Obama did, then you must have thought what he did wasn't very good. And that's not standing the test of time. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show. Your Twitter, you can tweet it at me. My Pillow. My Pillow. You guys like that opera? We were talking about opera yesterday. It's awful. It is. Can we just be honest? Well, Chad, some opera's good. It's awful. I've been to a few operas, and they were. I was like, I don't speak Latin. I don't speak Italian. It's just a bunch of people singing for god-awful amounts of hours, and it's just, that's where you need a MyPillow. You're like, I'm going to go to opera, but I'm going to take my MyPillow so I have some ambient noise, and I'm going to sleep amazing. MyPillow is incredible. It's amazing. Right now, for my listeners, give me a 60-day money-back guarantee. You can get 2 pillows for less than $70, free shipping. It's the amazing premium pillow. Made in the USA, 10-year warranty, machine washable and dryable, and you don't have to listen to opera. It's MyPillow. It's one of their guarantees, maybe. I don't know. But you do get a 60-day money-back guarantee. Now's your chance. You want to sleep better, make a small change that will go a long way in your life. It is MyPillow. Check it out right now. 2 premium pillows, $69.98, $34.99 a piece, less than $70, free shipping, delivered right to you with a 60-day money-back guarantee. Go to MyPillow.com. Use that promo code Benson. Or call 800-983-4975, promo code Benson. Hurry, because you want to grab this. You got that 60-day money-back guarantee and free shipping. 800-983-4975 or MyPillow.com, promo code Benson. Chad Benson Show.
You go, boy.
This isn't about right or left. This is just about right and wrong.
Right you are, Chad. The Chad Benson Show.
My immigration plan would also make sure that we put undocumented immigrants who haven't committed a serious crime on a pathway to citizenship, that we do a 21st century Marshall Plan with Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala so that we can get to the root of this challenge so people can find safety and opportunity at home instead of having to come to the United States. That's how we can be smarter, more effective, and more humane.
Julian Castro. By the way, did I not say we should do a Marshall Plan down there? I think I did. Like about a month ago, I was talking about if we're going to do something serious, that's what we need to do. If you don't know what a Marshall Plan is, look it up. Basically, we rebuilt Europe. We did not want it to go to hell in a handbasket. We wanted to make sure that we showed them the compassion we had and rebuilt it in such a way that maybe we won't be here again doing this, right? Right? Maybe, maybe not. So, yeah, very interesting. But as far as pathway to citizenship and all of this kind of stuff, we're looking at 1.1 million in the fiscal year that are going to come through here. These are the people that we've caught and or have turned themselves in at the port or whatever. That is amazing. Doesn't even count in the other 200,000+, give or take, when it comes to visas that have overstayed. So, yeah, I think it's a fair question. You know, where do you stand on immigration? Joe Biden, again, for as bad as the night he had, when he had his lucid moments, he seemed to be all right.
I already proposed and passed $750 million for Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras to be able to change the circumstance why people fled in the first place. In addition to that, if in fact you say you can just cross the border, what do you say to all those people around the world who in fact want the same thing to come to the United States and make their case, but they don't, that they have to wait in line? The fact of the matter is you should be able to. If you cross the border illegally, you should be able to be sent back. It's a crime.
Oh. Interesting. I mean, you know, totally against the run of, hey, it's totally fine, come here. I mean, because you can talk all day, Julian Castro and several others, you could talk all day that you want strong borders, but when you're actually pushed on it, you really don't. Right? You want a check-in point. You don't want strong borders. That's what you want. You want a check-in point. Like, just check in and then start the process. You're not literally saying we want strong borders. What you're saying is we just want to be able to check you in, get your information, and then we'll let you know when you can become a citizen. Curious. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show. Twitter, what do you think about that? Most and least stolen cars. What are they? New survey out today. And they've gone through and did a ton of stuff as far as looking at what's stolen, breaking it down to the model, all of these things, according to a new study by Highway Loss Data Institute. Top 5 cars that are stolen: Dodge Charger Hemi, Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat, Infiniti QRX 50 4-door, Infiniti QX 80, and the GMC Sierra 1500 Crew Cab. The least frequently stolen vehicle from 2016 to 18, BMW 3 Series, 4-door, Tesla Model X and Tesla Model S, 2 and 3, Chevrolet Equinox, and the Buick Encore. So if you have some of those, you're okay. You're all right. You don't have to worry about somebody stealing it. Nobody steals a Tesla because they're like, if it breaks down, what are we going to do with it? Oh, my Lord. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet at us. Love hearing from you. Check out the old Instagram as well. And check out the Facebook page. We do videos and stuff over there. And the chadshow.com. You grab your podcast. So we're starting to add a bunch of stuff to it. We're going to have a Chad Benson Show TV, YouTube page and everything. So make sure you check out everything across the board. You're useless. Fact of the day. If you like Star Trek, you can thank one person in particular. It's not Gene Roddenberry. No. It's Lucille Ball. If it wasn't for her, it would never have gotten made. Desilu Productions did it. The first time they shot it, NBC passed on it. She said, I want to do it again. And she made sure they shot the pilot over again. Hence the reason we got Star Trek. If you want to thank somebody, thank you, Lucy. Have a great rest of your day. We'll do it again tomorrow. I see Friday. Night, Jack.
This is The Chad Benson Show.